And that's the reason, by the way, that we decided to do a Facebook Live here a little early for you, because we're not going to have a 6 p.m. newscast, and then the 10 p.m. newscast is going to be pushed back to about, I think, 11:40 at this time. So we'll be on a little late. So maybe those of you who don't really stay up too late, you're going to miss the forecast. And then, because we don't have a 6 o'clock, you're not going to be able to see it. So doing a Facebook Live here to kind of get you caught up with the forecast. All right, let's get to it. The headlines, the big stories. We are staying quiet tonight. It's just going to be a cold night, but we are staying quiet. Temperatures in the 20s this evening. I know not everybody's watching the Super Bowl. Not everybody's at Super Bowl parties in the house or whatever. But if you are going to be out and about and traveling to a friend's house or a sports bar for the Super Bowl, just bundle up in the usual winter gear, the coat, the hat, the gloves, the scarf, whatever. And if you're getting in and out of the car, you're probably not going to be outside too long. So I believe, though, there are some folks that are going to be at the stadium. So I think those folks who are going to be at the stadium are probably already there by now. But it is going to be just a cold night. Good news is, though, the winds are light. So with light winds, it makes the cold much more bearable than those wind chills. That's always the thing that gets you. Now, we do have a couple of winter storms that we got to talk about going into this week. And the temperatures are going to stay relatively chilly. We're not looking at a warm up at any point in time. So we are staying below the average of the lower to mid 30s throughout the next 8 days. But there's a couple of storms, one a little bit more impactful than the others. All right, let's talk about first where we are right now temperature wise. In the 20s, upper 20s to right around 30, a few flurries around the Youngstown area. But other than that, we are just quiet and cloudy. There might be some partial clearing at times through the overnight hours, but I mean, most of us are going to be asleep at that time anyway. The winds are coming in out of the northwest for the most part, about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Again, it's light, so that's the good news, is that the winds are light. So there's not a huge wind chill. Temperatures feeling like they're in the lower to mid 20s across the area. 17 over in the Findlay, so a little bit colder over in that direction. So the 8-hour forecast, again, we keep it in the mid 20s going through the evening time. Pretty quiet, partly to mostly cloudy skies. Really mostly cloudy until we get into the overnight. Tomorrow's going to be similar, and that's going to be chilly. The winds are going to be light. We get some sunshine tomorrow, more sunshine than what we had today. So we'll call it partly cloudy tomorrow, because there'll be times of clouds and times of sun. And then on Tuesday, clouds do roll back in, but we are still staying dry, mostly cloudy skies. Now Wednesday, there's a storm system that passes by to our south overnight Tuesday night, which could give us a few lingering flurries in the south on Wednesday morning. And then the bulk of Wednesday is dry until we get into the late afternoon, where we have another storm system that comes through here that impacts the evening commute, the evening rush on Wednesday, with a wintry mix. And then it changes to snow overnight. Early Thursday morning, there are a few snow showers, and then that gets out of here by about mid-morning, and we're dry for the rest of Thursday, and we're dry for Friday with even a little bit of sunshine on Friday. So that first impactful storm, again, Wednesday evening, it's looking like at this point in time, we'll run through it here with the Futurecast in a second, that south in the southern area of northeast Ohio, it'll be rain, and the further north you go, it'll be a sleet, freezing rain mix. So we're starting to get into that area where freezing rain is starting to come in, because we have these warm fronts that come in here, and with the warm fronts coming in, that gives, in the middle levels of the atmosphere, that gives a little bit of warmer air in there. So when the precipitation is falling from the cloud as snow, then it starts to melt going through that warmer air. And then here on the ground, we're colder, we're below freezing, and so it starts to freeze again. And so that gives us that freezing rain and then sleet. Let me see if I have my graphic in here still that kind of explains those differences of wintry precipitation. Just a little meteorology 101 for you. It just kind of helps explain why we get those different types of precipitation. I think I see it right here. So I'm going to drag that in for us and just real quickly take you through that. So, all right, so here's rain. So you got the cold air up aloft, falls from the clouds, it falls as snow, and then it melts through the warmer air above freezing, and it just falls to the ground as rain. That's typical rain right there. Then you see where that warmer air is. That warmer air is then shut off by colder air here at the surface. And when we say the surface, we mean maybe the first few thousand feet or so. Actually, here in this case, freezing rain, that would be maybe the first 1,000 feet or so, that it's cold here, and then it freezes on contact because the ground is already below freezing. It's already cold. It's already frozen. So anything that falls on the ground or these colder surfaces as rain is going to instantly freeze. So that's the freezing rain part right there, and that's of course the most dangerous because it encases everything in ice and makes everything slippery. Now the shallow warmer air, so cold air falls from the clouds as snow, then it melts a little bit, and then it refreezes going through this colder air that's a little further up in the atmosphere, so it falls as sleet as opposed to snow or freezing rain or rain because it has a chance to refreeze. Then cold air all the way from the cloud to the ground, that's completely snow. That's, so we're looking at the extent of the warmer air, and it's always aloft there, always above our head. So that's the issue that we deal with here with wintry precip. And so we're always wondering, okay, what are those temperatures not only here at the surface, but what are the temperatures aloft, and what is the thickness of that warm air aloft? So when a warm front comes in, it may not necessarily be warm here at the surface, but in the middle of the atmosphere, it starts to warm, and so that's where we get those different types of precipitation there. So that's a little explainer for you. Now here's what you really want to care about. And those of you who are interested in this type of stuff, you are looking at that and say, okay, that's pretty cool. Thanks for explaining that. I know there are other people. There are other people like, yeah, that's great, Dontae. Just give me when it's going to do all this. That's all I want to know. Here's where you get into that action here. So here's the futurecast. Tomorrow, partly cloudy skies. So it's a pretty decent day tomorrow, just cold. And then there's Tuesday. See that we're dry. It's really down towards the Ohio River is where they're seeing any snow. And then early Wednesday morning, that's where we're on the northern periphery of a storm that's to the south. So we could see a few flurries anywhere from maybe southern Summit County over into Youngstown and Mansfield and south. So for Wednesday morning, I think I got about a 20 or 30% chance of seeing snow showers, and that's again for the southern areas. Northern areas, you're going to stay dry. And then we're dry for the bulk of the day until we get to about 4 or 5 o'clock, and then that's when a bigger storm system comes in to impact everybody. So you'll notice on this particular model, this is one model. There are other models that we look at, and so some of those models take the rain, which you see there in teal, if you will, a little further south, say maybe Akron, Mansfield, and south. And then Akron, Mansfield, and north is more ice and snow. So this is just that one model. So you take the mix between the two, and so we're going to say a wintry mix in there for Wednesday evening, where we get sleet, freezing rain, and snow, similar to what we saw yesterday. So yesterday you might have saw that we had all three forms of that precipitation at some point in time. So that's what we're looking at for the evening rush on Wednesday. So just a heads up there, evening rush on Wednesday could be a tricky one. And then it changes over to snow early in the morning on Thursday, probably right before the morning rush is what I'm going with right now. So a wintry mix, changing over to all snow early Thursday morning before he gets out of here for the bulk of the day on Thursday. This model says there might be a flurry that comes in with the little system to the north that give us some snow showers, say Thursday night. But by and large, much of Thursday is going to be dry. Friday is going to be dry, partly cloudy skies. We get a little bit of sunshine in there. Then another impactful system comes in on Saturday. This, again, similar to what we saw yesterday with snow to the north, with some sleet and freezing rain mixed in. And this one in particular, however, is looking like it's going to end the snow on the back end by the time we get into Saturday overnight and through the day on Sunday. So this system could be some accumulating snow. But too much to be worked out, too many details to be ironed out. But it doesn't look like much accumulating snow Wednesday night into Thursday morning. That's more of a wintry mix and some ice. But this one, wintry mix, ice, and then possible accumulating snow Saturday night through Sunday. So a couple of systems there to watch, but some dry days as well. So tonight, 15, mostly cloudy, cold and quiet. So it's going to be cold first thing in the morning. And then 30 degrees tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds. Tomorrow's not going to be a bad day at all. Yeah, it's going to be cold, but 30, we can handle 30. And again, I always take it back to that polar vortex that we had a few weeks ago, and we were really cold and wind chills were about 30 below zero. So 30 degrees with a little bit of sunshine, we can definitely handle that. And then again on Tuesday, 31, mostly cloudy skies, pretty quiet. Overnight lows about 19, so a little chilly overnight. Then we get into Wednesday. Again, maybe a few morning flurries in the south on Wednesday. And then dry for a big portion of the day till we get to the evening rush. And then the wintry mix comes in. So again, keep in the back of your mind, wintry mix on Wednesday evening for the evening commute. So if you're a part of that, just know that you'll have to be prepared for that. Some slick spots here and there. I'm sure ODOT would take care of the roadways just fine. It turns into snow overnight and through early Thursday morning, but then the bulk of Thursday is dry, mostly cloudy, 31. Valentine's Day, going to be chilly, 27, with some sunshine. I guess that's maybe the way you want it, so you can cuddle up with the person you're celebrating Valentine's Day with. I tell all of my coworkers that because of their love for me, of being their coworker, they can get me all sorts of sweets and goodies for Valentine's Day. I'm just saying. I'm putting it out there that I'm a lovable coworker, so you should celebrate me on Valentine's Day. Anything that I can get free food and candy and sweets, that's what I'm going with. That's what I'm saying. It's my excuse. So I think our producer, our digital producer that's in charge of this Facebook Live, she can attest to on National Weather Person's Day earlier this week, I did come in and say, where are my cookies? It's National Weather Person's Day. Where are my cookies? They eventually felt bad for me, and because I threatened to encase all their cars in ice if they didn't celebrate me. I'm joking. But yeah, so we got a couple of things coming our way here by the time we get into next week. Saturday night again. So the model that I showed through the day on Saturday. We get a wintry mix. There are a couple other models that hold that off until Saturday night. So I figured right now, just to get you ready, to show you the model that brings it through during the daytime, because the last thing that I want to do is get your hopes up that, if you have any plans Saturday, during the day, it's going to be dry and fine, and then come to find out, oh no, there's this stuff happening through the day. So if this model starts to back off and say it's going to hold off to the evening, that's good. But right now, it looks like that'll be an all-day event. Then that turns into snow overnight and through the day on Sunday. So it could be some accumulation there. How much? Don't know just yet. But I just say some accumulation. So it could be an inch or two to maybe 5 or 6 inches or so. At this point in time, it's way too early to tell. Looks like we dry out on Monday, but boy, is it cold. 9 Sunday night and 21 on Monday. My goodness gracious. But again, 21 I think we can handle. Looks like also on Saturday and Sunday we got some pretty blustery winds too. That looks to be a good wind. That looks to be a pretty legit winter storm right there, Saturday and the Sunday. And the thing is, it looks like all of our models are really picking up on that. It's just sort of the timing differences. So with the timing differences, there's some slight precipitation differences, but looks like they're all picking up on, Saturday and Sunday, there's going to be something. So that one this far out, that's why I'm a little more certain that I can put 40 and 30% in there, as opposed to hedging my bets at a 20% to say maybe I'll just put that there's a placeholder. No, this one we're pretty confident that something's happening there. So keep if you got plans next weekend, stay tuned to that evolving forecast next weekend, because we could be talking about as we go through the course of the week that maybe there's some accumulating snow, or maybe there's some thick ice or something along those lines as we get into next weekend, and gusty, blustery winds as well. All right, so that is it. That's a quick look at the forecast. Again, just a quick hitter. Almost every other day we're quiet, but Wednesday night into early Thursday for the Wednesday evening commute through the overnight, and early Thursday morning we got a wintry mix and some snow showers in there, and then we're dry on Friday, and for the rest of Thursday and Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday another storm comes in with the wintry mix with some ice and some snow, possibly accumulating snow as we get into Saturday night and Sunday. All right, everybody, enjoy the Super Bowl. Who are you rooting for? It'd be nice if the Chiefs can get the three-peat. Sure, it'd be good for football, but I don't know. I think we're all kind of tired of them, so I'm going to go for the Eagles. Plus, Philadelphia is a little closer to us, I guess, maybe. I haven't really looked at the distance. I don't know if we're equidistant from Kansas City to Philadelphia, but it seems like. And I guess, we are Midwest, so maybe I should root for the Midwest team, but I don't know. I'm going for the Eagles. All right. Anyway, everybody have a great evening. If you're going to stay up, we'll be on around 11:40-ish. We'll see you then. If not, have a great night, and we'll catch you tomorrow. All right. Have a great rest of the weekend, everybody.